Biggest game you've played in? Which one would it be?
National championship. Easy question.
Could this be a close number 2 after Saturday?
Absolutely. You always kind of want to look at your next game as your biggest game because it's your next game. I know that obviously there's a lot of hype around this game. We're well aware of that, but I think we're trying to just focus on the process that's going to take for us to be successful.
What will it take for you guys to be successful?
I think we got to execute. We got to play physical. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of emotion on both sides, and I think the team that plays physical and executes and eliminates negative plays and stuff like that is going to win.
Go ahead. How much does last year's game against LSU come up and just kind of take us through where you guys lost the game, I guess, basically?
It was there was mistakes made, I think, on both sides of the ball. Offensively, there's a lot of crowd noise, especially in Baton Rouge. It's kind of hard to execute at times and make adjustments up there. So luckily we're playing at our place this year. It was just they made plays last year and we didn't.
Being from Mountain Brook, sort of a local guy, William. And you played in your 4th LSU or being in the LSU series. What type of series has this been?
It's very physical. I think when you play teams like Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU, whether they're the number 1 team in the country, like they are in this case, or if they're 3-5 and having kind of a down year or whatever, those games are always your most physical games. Auburn, Tennessee, LSU, it's always an absolute battle, especially on the line of scrimmage. That's what I've come to learn from games like that. I expect obviously that to be the case this week.
Looking at film on their defense, I'm sure you have some tape. What stands out about them?
A lot of things. They're really sound. The personnel across the board is outstanding. Big, fast guys in every spot. There really isn't a weakness. Defensive front's athletic and big, and the secondary, does great in space with the ball, and they also come up and make tackles, and it's just all around. It's a great defense.
Talk about the practices and the preparation leading up to this game. Have you noticed more focus or anything out of the guys?
I think so. Obviously we know it's at stake, and we know how big a game it is, and obviously the hype that's around it from all directions is kind of hard to avoid. But at the same time, I think we're just focusing on what we got to do to be successful, and that's the key. And kind of worrying about what's going to happen between the lines on Saturday.
Practice has been more crisp maybe than previous weeks or anything like that? Anything different?
I think we've been practicing well all year, to be honest with you. I think we've been lucky with injuries, not having too many. But practices have been good, and we're trying to keep it that way. We're undefeated right now. Our offense is playing well. We just got to keep paying attention to detail and focusing, and keep doing what we're doing.
With as many people putting attention and hype on this game, do you guys just kind of want to be amongst each other and kind of away from everybody else this week, or what is it like?
I think so. You never want to get too drawn in, to the attention, like you're saying. It's hard to avoid, obviously, because everybody wants to talk about it. But at the same time, we're the ones playing the game. We're the ones who are going to decide the outcome. Nobody else. And we know that. People that have played here a while understand that. And the more focus you can have, and the better you can execute. That's going to lead you to winning the game.
How important is it, William, not to get off to a slow start against LSU like you did against Florida and Ole Miss? I
think it's important. Obviously, when you're playing a great team, that can expose you, as far as starting slow and letting them get a lead. So I think it's something that we got to prepare for and be ready, come out swinging.
You mentioned the offense is playing well. What is it about it, the offense that's clicking?
I think our balance has been good. The play call from Coach McElwain, I think, has been very good. And we got a great offensive staff. And then obviously, the personnel has got to execute. And I think for the most part, we've executed when we had to. Every game we come back and watch the film, there's things that you leave out there, and it eats away at you. It does. But execution's been good for the most part, and we got some explosive players on offense. Trent and Mays, and AJ's done a very good job making decisions back there at quarterback. So I think as a whole, I'm pleased with where we're at, but I'm not satisfied with where we're at.
McCarron, that was a big atmosphere at Florida, and then Tennessee, the rivalry game. This is going to be the biggest game that McCarron in his young career has been played in. How's he been handling the hype and just the team in general this week?
Well, he's a guy that's impressed me all year. When we broke the huddle against Penn State, it was deafening how loud it was, and he wasn't rattled at all. He was very smooth, very calm, and he knew what he had to do to execute. And I've been very proud of him, and hadn't necessarily been surprised by him, but he's mature beyond his years right now, and he's just continued to get better and work hard. I expect him to be ready to go on Saturday.